Welcome to Ezuri, Claw of Progress. As far as opening hand goes, yes, I love it. We have 3 lanes in the hand. We have Supreme Will, Sage of Hours, Teamer Sabertooth. We have a lot of different, we've got a lot of, this is a really good hand. We've got 2 really good creatures to dump some not some artifacts onto. I was just got done playing Jora. We have some good creatures to dump some counters onto. Let me rephrase that. Let's go and get down. I guess at this point it didn't really matter. We're just going to get down the 4 so that way Harbor comes into play on tap next turn. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Ezuri, Claw of Progress. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under control, you gain an experience counter. Then at the beginning of combat on your turn, put X+1 counters on another target creature you control, where X is the number of experience counters that we have. We're playing as Gonti, Lord of Luxury, the official Black Friday commander over there. And in fact, with so many new releases with Dominaria, I do want to go for Birds of Paradise to see if we can. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's do that. Let's go Birds of Paradise. We're going to tap out for Birds of Paradise. If opponent has removal, they have it. We can get down Dryad Arbor next turn. I guess technically if we're going for Birds of Paradise, I should have gotten down Dryad Arbor. But it's always good to kind of hold on to Dryad Arbor to see if you can't get an extra experience counter off of Ezuri. So that's always something kind of you want to work towards. But drawn to Cyclonic Rift. Okay. Do we want to go for Supreme Will on something? Or we can simply just leave up Supreme Will. I think I like that. Let's still go get down Dryad Arbor. I like that. We'll get down Dryad Arbor, and then anything else, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Gonti. Playing against Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Death Touch whenever Gonti enters the battlefield. Look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library. Exile one of them face down, then you spend your manas or any color to cast that spell, as long as it remains exiled. Okay, opponent's going to go for Read the Bones, Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. We could have countered that one with Supreme Will, but to be perfectly honest, I really want to make the lane drop, so we're going to use Supreme Will to look at the top 4 cards of our library to draw into an additional card. You know, if our opponent's going to spend their whole turn going for Read the Bones, I kind of want to keep up with that tempo play. If we had a few more lanes in the hand or something, I might have gone for that particular counter, but I want to make sure that we're going to be able to get down Ezuri and really take advantage of it. So we're going to have Herald of Secret Streams. Do we want that one? +1 counters can't be blocked. We're going to have Hangerback Walker. Cold Eye is going to give us some pretty good card draw once we get her down. Yeah, I think I kind of like Cold Eye. Especially if Gonti's going to be drawing a lot of cards. Yeah, let's go into a Cold Eye. I was thinking about grabbing that land, but we're going to have enough mana to get down to Ezuri. And then between Cold Eye, Hangerback Walker, and Sage of Hours, we have a ton of option to start putting some of those +1 counters on there. And we'll see exactly what we're going to go for. All right. See what we're drawn to. Drawn to Elvish Mystic. Let's go and get down to Ezuri. It's going to be 1-2, blue-green, Paradise, and then tap out for Dryad Arbor. Let's go and get that down. Unfortunately, we missed a land drop. It is turn 4, but we have Birds of Paradise out there, and then we'll still have Elvish Mystic. And we can really kind of start to dump some of this stuff out onto the battlefield. Let's go and kind of pass the turn to our opponent. We'll get a little bit better game plan. Now, as far as next turn goes, we completely tap out for Cold Eye and Elvish Mystic. I would like to really get down Hangerback Walker. We don't really have a sack outlet at this point right now because we're going to get those +1 counters on the Hangerback Walker, but whenever it dies, create an X colorless soft or artifact creature token. Now, we are playing against mono black. Probably looking at a lot of board wipes, and like we just saw, Ruinous Path on Ezuri, so we're looking at a lot of spot removal. So if we can get Ezuri back down and go for Hangerback Walker to get those +1 counters going, I think I do like going for that. Let's go ahead and get down Elvish Mystic. That way we can at least kind of semi-keep up with our lane drop. Now we do have Arcane Denial. It's going to allow us to counter something from our opponent. Do we completely want to tap out for Cold Eye? It's going to leave us completely open to a board wipe, and I don't think we're okay with that. Now, let's just go and pass the turn to our opponent. If we tap out for Cold Eye and our opponent just follows up with Damnation, we have 2 lands, and we're just pretty much just out of the game on this one, so I don't want to go for that. Oh, but as far as Gonti goes, I was talking about Gonti. I really miss, I always love when a new set releases. I love that because I have a lot of people searching the new commanders, and I get some new subscribers. In fact, if you're a new subscriber, welcome. Thank you for joining the channel, or at least subscribing to the channel. Diabolic Tutor. Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. We'll still leave up Arcane Denial for whatever they need to tutor up. So we'll just kind of keep that open, or try to at least. And they probably, with the way that tutor went, they probably end up went for coffers or something like that. But yeah, so I always really enjoy new set time because I get new commanders out there, and I'm really excited about doing a lot of these videos and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do want to completely tap out for Ezuri. It's kind of scary to do that. Or do we just kind of slow? But at the same time, if we start rolling out some of these creatures, yeah, let's go and go for it. Man, if they've got a counterspell, they've got it. We need to get Ezuri down. We need to get some stuff going. Maybe they end up going for Gonti or something this turn. Look at that symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. I don't know. I always like stuff like that. Anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. We have no experience counters at this point right now, but hopefully next turn we'll get some of that going. But yeah, with Gonti, so Gonti's normally my Black Friday commander. I always like getting him out on Friday, and it's just a really fun video to record. But since we've had the new set going, I haven't had a chance to record Gonti, so I always kind of look forward to whenever the new set kind of settles down and we get to get more Gonti going. I don't know. Like, there's been times where I've thought about recording Gonti during the week or something like that, but it just, I don't know. It feels weird not releasing Gonti on a Friday. He's such a diva. Like, there'd be some times where I'm like, hey man, we need a video for Wednesday. Are you up for it? All right, target player loses X life, target creature gets -3. That will take care of Ezuri. Unfortunately, that happens. All right, so now we're pretty much, Ezuri's been taxed out of the command zone. So we need to get some stuff moving on our side of the board. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and go, yeah, Wood Elves I think is going to give us forced on the battlefield and still roll out a few more stuff. Yeah, I think I like it. Let's go and go tap out for Wood Elves. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. That'll give us another force on the battlefield that won't come into play tapped. Let's go and grab Tropical Island. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's go and go for Cold Eye. Well, that'll keep us out right. Actually, let's do this. Let's go for Hangerback Walker. That's going to be 1, 2. X is going to be 1. Maybe if we hit the land drop, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be 8 total mana. We can still get down Ezuri. And then, but at least having Hangerback Walker on the battlefield, that's going to give us a few more options to kind of get some stuff moving. Hopefully, if we can get down Ezuri and kind of go from there. That's one of the downsides to playing a deck like Ezuri. A lot of these creatures are just kind of, they're kind of mad by themselves. But you get down Ezuri, you're casting a lot of these little 1-drops and stuff like that. You know, you can end up with an Elvish Mystic that has 5+1 counters on it, swinging in at your opponent. Or you end up with the Hangerback Walker on the battlefield with a bunch of counters on it. But if you don't have Ezuri on the battlefield, it's not that good. So we've been taxed into the commander tax. So we'll be keeping our fingers crossed for some sort of lane drop for the turn. If not, we still have Arcane Denial to kind of stop something from our opponent. Now, our opponent did get down Urborg off that expedition map. So they are looking at a ton of mana off that coffers. So that's something we need to kind of keep in mind. They do have 4 cards in the hand. Destroy target permanent. So they will be able to go for that activation off unstable. Growing Rights of Itlamok, that's going to care about 4 more creatures. Yeah, we can actually go and tap out for Growing Rights of Itlamok. I think I like that. Let's go and go for Growing Rights of Itlamok. That's going to give us a lot more mana that we can tap out for. All right, look at the top 4 cards of our library. Reveal a creature card from among them. See what we hit off of that. Yissen, yeah, we'll go and grab Yissen off that one. And then we'll put those on the bottom in any order. That still puts us at 3 total mana. Like I said, I think we're going to just simply hold up Arcane Denial and then get this Growing Rights of Itlamok to flip. And that's really going to give us a good chunk of mana. Let's go and push in on this one. We're going to leave up all of our mana dorks, though. We're going to swing in with Hangerback and Wood Elves. And we're going to leave up, well, I guess technically we can swing in with Elvish Mystic and then Dryad Arbor. Yeah, if we need to get a clock going, yeah, we're going to do that. All right, we could have, yeah, and plus we only have, that kind of puts us on Cyclonic Rift or Arcane Denial. I can't really see us needing to leave up both, so we're going to get that in there, put them down to 24, and then anything else, kick the turn to our opponent. We'll get that Growing Rights of Itlamok to flip, and then with that active, actually, that still puts us on line for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll put us at 5 total mana, 6, 7. So we'll still have more than enough mana to go for Cyclonic Rift or Arcane Denial if we need to kind of bounce something back to the hand. And actually, I don't mind going for Arcane Denial because I want to get a little bit of card draw going. Now, once we do get down Growing Rights of Itlamok, we're going to have to tap out for 5 total mana. That'll still put us still give us about 2 mana left over. We can still get down Sage of Hours to get some sort of experience counter going for Ezuri. So that's something we can kind of start working towards. But one thing we do have to watch out for with Dark Depths is, if they do have Thespian Stage out there, they can make a copy of it. But at the same time, with Coffers and Urborg out there, they could also get to a spot to where they generate enough mana to kind of get that out there. Just get Merit Lage token. Runescarred Demon. Let's do this. Let's go and go for Arcane Denial on that one. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's add green to our mana pool. Let's go and tap out for blue. Let's go and go for Arcane Denial on, make sure we clicked on the correct one. There we go. Arcane Denial, we'll use that last mana right there. We'll stop that one. That'll still kind of keep the board open for us to swing in next turn. Excuse me, swing in next turn. I'm taking a drink of water and it just kind of like, it sounded like I was falling out of my chair. Just, next turn. Like I'm scared about next turn or something like that. No, so we'll go for Arcade Denial. We can stop that. We'll get some card draw. Now that will give our opponent 2 card draw. At least we'll get an additional card draw. And with them having this mana open at this point right now, they're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to have 5 mana, which is going to keep them out of range for that unstable activation, which is kind of what we want to go for. All right, I'm just going to go for Gonti, Lord of Luxury. That's fine. Most of the stuff that we have that's pretty good would be like Hangerback Walker, Sage of Hours. Whatever they would steal out of this deck, it's usually typically not something. It's kind of like boom or bust with Ezuri on the battlefield. So it's not like we're playing a good stuff control deck to where they're going to have a lot of options to go for. But we'll see what Gonti's going to steal out of Ezuri's Ezuri's back pocket. I don't know. I always like imagining Gonti just kind of reaching into whatever commander we're playing, reaching into their back pocket and stealing that card. Now, they did exile a card that will be, actually, we'll get that crossed off since they do have Urborg, and we'll see if they're going to Trigon. Oh, there we go. They go for Trigon Predator. Now, that's what they stole from us because they are playing a mono black deck. And do we want to bounce Cyclonic Rift back to the hand? Do we want to bounce that Trigon Predator back? I think that does sound pretty good. I mean, we're looking at bouncing Gonti back. No, we're going to bounce that back because we can start using that for unstable. Yeah, I think I like that play. Because that's also going to allow us to keep Ezuri active. We don't have to worry about that unstable activation anymore. And they'll still leave us 3 mana left over. And hopefully as we keep rolling a lot of these creatures out, we'll be in a good spot to go from there. Okay, so our opponent's going to draw 2 cards. We're going to be able to draw a card 2 at the beginning of our upkeep. Drawn to Finhorn Elves. Now, we're kind of in this weird holding pattern to where we want to get as much creatures on the back. Ooh, there we go. Swiftfoot Boots. Let's say we needed some protection for Ezuri, and that's exactly what we drew into. Let's go ahead and tap out green for each creature that we control. Let's go ahead and go for Ezuri. Our opponent's completely tapped out, so we're going to be okay on this one. And then 1, 2, tap out for blue, and then we'll go ahead and tap down Dryad Arbor. Let's go ahead and get down Ezuri. That's going to be us. Still, we're only going to basically look at 1 experience counter at this point right now. But we're going to go and get this onto Ezuri. Oh, yes, there we go. I guess technically we could kind of shift it onto something else at this point right now, but I want to get our mana going and then hopefully keep our fingers crossed that our opponent doesn't draw into board wipe or something like that. That would be pretty bad for us. Let's get down Finhorn Elves. Get an additional experience counter. And what we're going to do is we're going to start putting those experience counters onto Hangerback Walker. Really need to get that going. Anything else? No, we're just going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Our opponent does have Gonti out there, 2/3 Death Touch. We're not really wanting to push into it at this point right now. Even when we swing in with, like, a lot of our creatures are 1/1s. I'd rather leave them up for Growing Rites of Itlimoc, Cradle of the Sun. That's going to give us some additional counters. We do have Yisan the Wandering Bard in the hand, and we also do have Trigon Predator too. And our opponent, they got into Stronghold too, so they've got the full mono black package. It's kind of like mono black Tron over there between Stronghold, Urborg, and Coffers. Now with Stronghold, you're going to add black mana for each basic swamp that you control. Now, I think if I'm correct, when you get down Urborg, if you have a basic land on the battlefield, let's say you're playing a black-red deck and you have a basic mountain on the battlefield, if it's still a basic swamp with Urborg, I think it still counts for Stronghold. But, like, Dark Depths being a swamp, since it's not a basic swamp, it's not going to count towards that Stronghold. All right, opponent's going to go for Sidisi, Undead Vizier. They're going to sacrifice Gonti, they search your library for a card, put it in your hand. More than likely, 100% likely, we're going to see a board wipe. So we'll kind of see this get taken care of, and then hopefully we can kind of bounce back from that. One option that we do have is, and unfortunately I would have liked to get down Sage of Hours a lot quicker, but with Sage of Hours, whenever you cast a spell, put a +1 counter on it, there's going to be some times where if you have enough experience counters, if you've gotten enough creatures out there, and your opponent doesn't have spot removal, you can start to take a bunch of extra turns and kind of keep closing that game out, because you're going to get those counters at the beginning of each combat or whatever. But unfortunately, we were just in a position to where we couldn't get down Ezuri and really take advantage of that. You can see it's turn 9, and we really only got 1 experience counter, because our opponent had a lot of answers for everything. Now, if this is going to be a board wipe, which we just saw Sidisi get sacrificed, we still will end up at least with 2 Thopter tokens onto the battlefield, so it's still going to give us something to work towards. And then hopefully we can kind of start going from there. One option that we can go for, destroy all creatures that can't be returned, draw a card for each. Ooh, pretty nasty. All right, so we're going to get this card draw for each one of those, and that puts them back up to 11 cards in the hand. We're going to end up with 2 Hangerback tokens on the battlefield. We're going to try our best. That's still going to give us Itlamok 2. What we can do is get down Trigon Predator next turn. I'd really like to take care of Unstable. I want to get rid of as much, options they have on their side of the board as possible. Something that we can go for would be something like Cold Eye. We get down Cold Eye and get that card draw going. But at this point right now, with us not being able to take advantage of it with Ezuri, 3 mana for a 1/1 that might die to some spot removal is going to be really hard for us to kind of push past on this one. But we're going to try our best. So we'll get that Trigon Predator coming across. Drawn to Plax Manta. Okay. Enters the battlefield. Creatures you control gain Shroud until end of turn. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's go and tap out. It's going to be 1/2 for Growing Rights of Itlamok. We'll tap out for Trigon Predator. Yeah, I want to take care of Unstable at this point. Taking care of the Charcoal Diamond is not going to matter at all in this one. Let's go ahead and equip the Trigon Predator with Swiftfoot Boots. And let's go and push in on our opponent. It's going to be 4 coming across, putting them down to 20. It's a little army that could. After Ezuri's been sent back to the command zone 100. All right, we're going to swing in for 4. It's going to put our opponent down to 20. We're going to deal that damage and take care of Unstable. There we go. Take care of that one. Like I said, we could go for Charcoal Diamond, but yes, we're going to use that ability. But at this point right now, it's not going to matter. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass turn to our opponent. Now, we do have Plax Manta in the hand. Flash whenever it enters the battlefield. Creatures you control gain Shroud until end of turn. So if our opponent does have some sort of spot removal, what we may end up doing is just flashing in Plax Manta. We'll need to make sure that we cast green on it to make sure that's going to stick through on this one. But that's definitely an option that we can go for if they do have some sort of spot removal. Getting that down, it doesn't have flying, so at least at this point right now, we do have a 4-turn. We have 4 flying power in the air. We're looking about a 5-turn clock, which is not the best, especially if our opponent drew a bunch of cards off of that. But if we can slowly start getting our creature count up and tapping this Growing Rights of Itlamok, I think Ezuri's been sent back 4 times, so it's going to be, last time it was 8. So we might be looking at 10 total mana. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we all right. We got Josu Vest coming down. Now that's actually a addition I did add to my deck was Josu Vest, and look how good this is. I mean, it's a good card to get down with. Let's say that we are not playing Gonti, but like I want to talk about Josu Vest, how good it is. Like let's say you are playing mono black and getting down a 4 mana 4/5 with menace, it's not that bad. You know, there's other things you could do at 4 mana, but I mean, it's not the end of the world that you get. But to have something that really works really well with something like Gonti late game, to where you can end up with 8 2/2 black zombies onto the battlefield, then our opponent's going to toss down a Grave Titan on this one too. But yeah, whenever they printed Josu Vest, I mean, it was just one of those cards where I'm like, all right, that's pretty good because getting to 10 mana is really not that far-fetched. And if you have some way to bounce it back to the hand, let's say you're playing a black-blue deck or something like that, you can bounce it back. You're definitely in a good spot to go. And the fact that these zombie knights have have menace, that's a really cool option too. All right, so we'll see what we draw into. Unfortunately, we burned through our Cyclonic Rift already. We got Josu Vest bringing his undead army. It reminds me of Game of Thrones at this point. Do we want to flash in Plax Manta just to have an additional body on the battle? Yeah, we probably need to do that. We need to have as much mana as possible. So let's go and do that. Let's go and flash in Plax Manta. Creatures we control gain Shroud until end of turn, which is going to be the end of the turn anyway, so it's not really going to matter on this one. But at this point, we're just trying to go for something with Growing Rights of Itlamok, just to kind of get that mana going. All right, creatures we control are going to gain Shroud. And they'll see what we draw into. Draw into Mystic Snake. All right, so next turn, that's going to be 16 coming across. That's going to be 20. 26. We can still chump block on Grave Titan. It's going to be 2 more zombies on the battlefield. Yeah, that's going to be pretty rough. So we're going to be tapping out for 4 total mana. Let's see how much Ezuri is going to cost on this one. Ezuri will cost 10 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're not going to have enough for that one with 5 cards in the hand. I guess let's do this. Let's go ahead and go for... We tap out for Yisun. Yeah, this is still kind of clunky. Let's go and tap out for Yisun. We need to just kind of dig into our library to see if we can't find something. Let's go and get Swiftfoot Boots on there. Onto Yisun. Make sure we clicked on that one. Yeah, I thought I clicked on one of the Thopter tokens. I was going to go for the activation. And really only looking at converted mana cost 1. But at this point right now, I'm just trying to look into our library to see if we do have some sort of out, other than just kind of having one step where they swing in. We did get rid of Cyclonic Rift. Let's get this popped out just a little bit more. Yeah, we can try and get a few more counters going. But as far, if we were to rip into something like Arachnogenesis, that would definitely help. But yeah, I guess we can survive a turn and maybe we get Genesis. Maybe we get lucky and drawn to Genesis next turn. I think that's going to be our only out. Other than that, it's just a bunch of good stuff. We'll go and grab another one. Let's go and grab Lano War Elves. We'll get that down, and then anything else. Let's go and shift the Lightning Greaves back over onto the Predator. Okay. But yeah, I think that's going to be 8-16 coming across. We can still chump block on the rest of the creatures out there. That's going to be us completely tapping out there and hopefully maybe drawing into that Arachnogenesis. But we'll go and play our outs on this one. We have a very, very slim chance of getting this done, but that does happen. But that's one of the fun things about playing against Gonti is that's what makes Gonti such a good mono black commander is that Gonti gives you just reach. Gonti gives you you can build this mono black ramp deck that just wants to get as much mana on the battlefield as possible, kind of close the game out with stuff like Josu Ves. Let's go ahead and block right there. So it's going to be 16 coming across in zombie tokens. That will put us down to 10. So we do need to at least throw one more creature in front of Grave Titan. Let's go ahead and throw this. We want to have as much mana as possible. We'll go and throw this over there. So it's going to be 8. That's going to be 16. That will be 20, putting us down to 7. I guess technically we can leave these up right here. So let's see. So it's going to be 16, 17, 16, 18, 20, 26. That'll put us down to 1. Am I reading that correctly? I want to make sure. 16, 20, yeah, 24. Yeah, we're okay with that. All right. So we're just going to have Plaques jump in front of that. And we'll have a few more creatures, too, on our side of the battlefield. All right, put us down to 3. And then we'll see if we can't draw into that Genesis or something like that. But yeah, that's basically what makes Gonti such a great mono black commander is that you can run stuff like Josu Ves and get a bunch of Zombie Knight tokens on the battlefield, which is actually really sweet. I love the card art on these tokens. And you get that down and you end up having a really good time. So your opponent's going to be tapping out for it. If they have something like Sanguinate, they have more than enough to cover it, or Torment of Hellfire. All right, opponent's going to go for Torment of Hellfire for 19. We're going to go and scoop it up because you have to click OK like 19 times. So we're going to go and scoop it up. That will be enough with the Torment of Hellfire coming down. So I guess this is Gonti's way of saying that I need to record with him sometime, that he misses his time on the stage. But anyway, we tried to get Ezuri going. You can see we had Ezuri get down all the way up to 10 total mana with that commander tax. We had everything in the hand, too, that was really going to help us start to push for a really good Ezuri game. But our opponent just probably what might have helped us is if we had countered that Read the Bones at the very beginning of the game instead of going for Supreme Will to dig a little bit deeper. I really wanted to find some protection from Ezuri, but that might have been more than enough to kind of help stop, at least slow their slow roll of getting that mana going. But once you get, we have Ezuri's list up, but once you get down coffers, start generating a ton of mana, it's just really hard to kind of bounce back from that sometimes. But definitely a good game to our opponent, and really enjoyed it. I always enjoyed playing against Gonti. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.